defending the free market, and making the moral case for capitalism. The Justin Moore Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Justin Moore Show, where we make sense of what's going on in this crazy, insane, out of control world. And here we are, my friends. This is the last show of 2016. I know, I can't believe, where has time gone? I have no idea. I can't believe it's been a year. And so this would be I guess I do a show every single week, so this would be the 52nd episode of this year in 2016. And I have a lot to say, I think. I guess I'm not really sure which direction this show is going to go. And actually, I think the way I want to start out here, before I jump into anything, maybe reflect on the year a little bit, I was just kind of self-reflecting about what happened in regards to, last week's show. I just know after I recorded that one show, I don't know, I felt a lot more alive recording that show than I did my other ones. I don't know, I just felt in my gut that was a much better show. And so I was just kind of thinking about it. It's like, what was it? What caused me to feel a lot more alive with that show? And I think I've come up with a few answers. I think, for me personally, I have been taking myself a little bit too seriously. And now, for my own personality, that's not me. I'm not a guy to be, serious all the time. I'm not really good at serious. I'm not. For instance, there was a little glimpse of this self-reflection that I discovered on the cruise ship, on the Contra cruise. Almost every night they had a karaoke thing. It kind of varied where it was on the ship. One night it would be at, the one Studio B, the other place. There's like a bar on the fifth deck of the ship, which literally looked just like a mall. I posted some pictures up on Facebook. It's ridiculous how these ships look, which I talked about this stuff when I got back from the cruise. But anyway, one of the nights I was doing karaoke, I was kind of looking at the Elton John songs. I sing most of Elton John's greatest hits. I also sing other songs like the Eagles. I'll sing Desperado. I'll sing some Beatles songs. There's quite a range I'll do. But I mostly like to sing Elton John. I just like his songs the most. They have a lot of passion. And naturally, I'm a pretty passionate guy. So I was looking at the list of Elton John songs. It's like, they didn't have Can You Feel the Love Tonight, which I haven't sang that song in, quite a long time. And so I went and I looked, and it's okay, let me look it up in this other way. And I saw that they had Can You Feel the Love Tonight? But instead of saying Elton John, it said, it said Lion King. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I know Elton John was singing those songs for Lion King, so it's got to be the exact same song, right? Come to find out, that was not the case. And as I'm singing the song, I'm kind of laughing, because this is the song from Lion King with Timon and Pumbaa, talking about, losing their friend, Simba. And I'm just laughing as I'm going through it. And after singing that song and I'm just having fun, it's like, dang, I have been taking myself way too seriously sometimes. I don't know. I think for me, that's what can affect me. And so I'm not operating at my best. Even for instance, like the karaoke finals too. When you think, oh crap, I got to do good. There's, no guarantee. And obviously I already made the excuse earlier to you guys when I got back from the cruise ship, how I was, I did have a bloated stomach. That's true. I was full, so that definitely didn't help things. But still, when you think you have to try to do good at something, instead of just go and have fun, that's going to affect your performance. And so I think going back months now, hell, I haven't been at the top of my game. I don't know. It's like I've been kind of trending sideways. It's not saying that the shows were just crap and garbage. Oh, don't listen to them. No, I had a lot of good content, that sort of thing. But I'm not operating at my best personally. I'm not actually using my strengths to my advantage. It's like having a team of, like a basketball team. If you have like a team of midgets not midgets, but I don't want to pick on midgets. I remember doing that last year, and who knows? I don't want to offend anybody, because I get along with all sorts of people. But say you have a basketball team of people who are, your whole team is made up of a bunch of guys. They're 5'4", which for guys, and especially playing basketball, that is extremely short. And let's say your team of really short guys, yeah, you guys are quick and you guys are good behind the line. You can shoot the three-pointer like nobody's business. You guys are shooting as a team at 60% behind the arc. I mean, you guys are doing awesome. But instead of taking advantage of what you're good at and shooting the three-pointers and nailing it and working the perimeter, instead you're like, hey, let's give it to our little tiny guys inside. These little 5'4" guys who are going up against the other big guys from the other team who are like 6'5". You're not going to do well when you're not taking advantage of the skill sets that you have, or that maybe comes naturally to you, or you just got to take advantage in life in general. Any strength you have, man, you've got to, especially when you're competing against other people, or just for the sake of yourself. You've got to stick to what you're good at, but also, you need to work on your weaknesses too, if you want to improve, right? So that's kind of what I feel I've been doing on my show. I haven't been really working at my strengths, which for me personally, I think I'm kind of a naturally witty sort of guy, funny. I'm like when I'm hanging out with friends, I get people to laugh, that sort of thing. So it's like I don't think I've really been doing that, and I really haven't. And so I think that's kind of affect the performance of the show, where I'm not operating and I'm not exposing my personality like I should, and just taking advantage of the strengths that I do have, because I am confident with this show, me, operating, say like last week's show, that's how I can deliver a show that is 100% me, and it's really unique compared to what you get from any other libertarian show out there. It's fresh, that sort of thing. I don't know. Just for me personally, I just know I felt it in my gut. It's like, that's the type of show I have to be doing. And here's the thing too. You don't realize, like for me, I didn't realize I wasn't doing that. You're just kind of going through, you're doing a weekly episode, kind of getting things together. I just didn't realize it. And I mean, I am a sort of guy who I always like to self-reflect and look at, okay. And I actually think I'm really objective about myself. Say if I go to turn on one of my shows just to kind of hear it through, I want to get a feel for it and to see, okay, I can improve on this or that. Or, like anything I do, it's not like I need someone to tell me, hey, Justin, you did a good job. Oh, hey, Justin, you did a bad job. Man, you really sucked at that song, by the way. It's like, no, I know if I do or not. I'm not just going to look at it, because a lot of people, we do kind of a bias that naturally we think we're better at certain things or worse at certain things just because it's us, It's like when you first start doing your show. Like for me, like my first few episodes, man, like when you're hearing your voice and you're playing it back, it's like, oh man, I can't stand my voice, You're so self-conscious about that, all that sort of stuff. Well, I don't have that at all anymore. And actually, I think one of the benefits of me doing my podcast, I think my voice has kind of changed. And so it's actually allowed me so I can sing better than I ever could before. It's because my voice has kind of improved, just because like when I'm talking through a mic, I've got headphones on, I'm hearing my own voice, and it's kind of allowing myself I'm getting better at fluctuating my voice, that sort of thing. I don't know. I just noticed that as a side benefit to doing a podcast. So if any of you guys want to start singing karaoke, man, you should start a podcast. But so I don't know. I guess I just kind of want to start off the show just making that point, and just because I know like a lot of you guys are like, okay, Justin, come on, let's move on to some other issues. Like we're not getting crap out of this. We want to hear about something going on in the economy. There's so much news going on. That's true. But I think there are some things, even though it's me just kind of talking about my show and self-reflecting from last week's show, maybe there's some things that you can apply to your life, because a lot of this stuff does it doesn't like just fit for my situation. It can kind of work towards anything, anywhere you're at in your life. Just self-reflecting, man, that's what a lot of people don't do. They don't think about what they, did wrong or right. Or it's like, okay, I didn't. Yeah, it's like me when I'm singing karaoke and some songs. It's like, it's weird. Like you think, like before I started singing, I could hear someone sing. It's like, oh man, they're a good singer. They know what they're doing. And you just assume it's like, okay, they can always just sing well. It's just, that's their talent. That's just what they can do. But that's not exactly the case. I can say for me, there are some times with songs, there like this, oh man, this one song I sang for the very first time, this was like 3 weeks ago. Maybe it was a month ago now. It's called The One by Elton John. Oh man, I actually never even realized that this song existed before. Like I think I've heard it before. I just remember one night I'm like, okay, wait, I heard the song. It's like, I want to look up the lyrics for that. So I'm like playing the song in the background. I start reading the lyrics. I'm like, oh my God, this is a beautiful song. And I'm just, at that moment, I realized, man, I ever get married, this is going to be my wedding song. Like, it's that incredible. So that night, after hearing it, I went and I sang it at the karaoke bar, and man, I nailed that song. I couldn't believe it. It's just like naturally with anything, when you're so focused in on it, there was so much passion when I was singing it. Like, I just nailed it. And I've sang it a few times after that. The second time, wasn't as good. I still haven't quite nailed it as good as I did the very first time. But still, it's like with anything, you can't expect to always nail it. But the people who are high performers out there, the quote unquote, the professionals, those guys, they have a lot of pressure on them because, hey, you're that good. You have to always be at the top of your game. You can't just, that was an off night. No, that's what amateurs do. Amateurs have off nights. Professionals don't. So it's a struggle to try to work to that point, because I want to be able to have it where I never have off days. Man, I never have to worry about not performing. You just do it and you can just nail it every time, right? So it's all just a process. And I've understood that from the very beginning with the show. It's like, hey, I'm not expecting to make money. Maybe in the long term I could, but I just knew in the process of doing the show, I can improve on so many skills that are going to relate and be able to work in any aspect of my life that could help. So it's not like, maybe, I guess another way to put it, I've never thought of this show as my end game. Like, this is it. Gotta just have a successful show and there we go. No, it always was a means. Now, could the show possibly be some sort of end? Well, perhaps. But heck, you get to a certain level and your skills improve, it opens up other doors for you. So there's no guarantee. Heck, I might move in a different direction eventually, but I know I'm not operating at the place where I want to be. But again, as I said, it's all just a process, and self-reflecting, that's an important part of growing. Knowing, okay, where can I improve? Or like when you listen to someone else who say is really good. Like for instance, say Rush Limbaugh. Now I've gone after Rush a few times on my show. And actually I kind of meant to make this point at the time when I was kind of attacking Rush, that Rush has some things wrong, I guess a lot of things wrong, especially from the libertarian perspective, especially when he says a Trump victory was a repudiation of big government, that sort of thing. I think that's very wrong. But with Rush, stepping back and just looking at him as a talent, I don't mind if I agree or disagree with people. That doesn't matter to me. But like as a talent, he is the best. He is the most talented in talk radio. You just listen to his show, and if you can listen on a deeper level, it's like, okay, how is he such an effective speaker? What makes him what makes him so entertaining to listen to? Listening on that deeper level is how you can even improve yourself just by listening, not trying to. That's another thing too. Like say if you do want to start up your own podcast, that sort of thing, trying to mimic someone else, that's not going to work for you. It's not. You got to be your own person, but you also got to understand, okay, what works, what doesn't, how can you bring out you? And that's what I've just thought I haven't done these last few months. If I really go and step back and look at my show, okay, yeah, I think my best interview I've ever done was with Doug Casey, which was a few months ago, which was released when I was on the Contra Cruise. I really loved how that came out. But like my last episode that I thought like, man, I just nailed it. It's been months. I guess when I got back from Freedom Fest, even though that was a different kind of show, I wouldn't necessarily say I was alive, but the vibe was different. I don't know. There's something about that one I really liked. Now, I don't want to bore you guys too much here just talking about all this sort of stuff. But again, I'm just trying to be really objective about myself. Now, I do always try to bring a lot of content to this show because I think libertarians in general, we're the type of people who I think we value content more than the average person, like say liberals out there or, conservatives. They might be caught up a little bit more in the entertainment aspect. So I think you can get away with focusing a little more on content for a libertarian audience. But however, if you want to attract a lot of people to your type of show, it has to be entertaining, first and foremost. That's when you come to listen to my show, it's not like it's a classroom in college where the professor, He can be as boring as hell. It doesn't matter. You're stuck in this classroom. If you want this degree, heck, buddy, you're stuck with me. And you get some of the most boring, kooky professors. Oh man, I've gone to college. I always want to fall asleep. But here I can't do that. You voluntarily choose with your time to listen to this show. And so I've got to make it compelling, entertaining, and a lot of good content all at the same time. And so in 2017, I'm hoping I can do a lot better job of that. And I'm hoping I can continue the trend I started with last week's show and just really trying to, bring out what I see as my strengths and improving on that. Starting that as my baseline and working from there. And if you guys actually want to, leave any messages to me, maybe I'm way off base. I could actually be completely delusional. Maybe you guys are like last week's show, man, I didn't notice anything different, Heck, just, you can leave me an email. Just go jmore616@gmail.com. And if you guys want to leave me some responses, you can, because I guess that's one thing I haven't done either. Just kind of, if you guys want to make remarks about the show that you hate me, love me, I don't care. Do whatever you want. Because maybe I am way off base, but I just feel in my gut that last week's show was more in line with what I should be doing and getting back to what is me. I guess that's what I should be doing anyway, right? So anyway, I just really wanted to start off the show just mentioning that. Because I think that was important just to kind of, self-reflection is very, very crucial for if you want to grow and always be improving your skill sets, with wherever you're at in your life. I think so many people, look at the people who are on American Idol, who they think that they can sing. It's like some people, I don't know, actually maybe this is a lot of people, where they have someone tell them, man, or like, Jacob, you're a really good singer. And maybe it's just family and friends just telling them that, just give them some encouragement. But then they actually are doing a disservice to him because here's now Jacob. He's going and he's like, I want to go try out for American Idol. My friends and family said I'm good, so I must be good. It's like, do you ever do any self-reflection? Like, wait, do you really sound good? How does your voice really sound? You don't really think about that. Does someone else is telling you you're good, so you must be good? Or like with a show, say I do, it's like, oh, well, it must have been good because someone said it was good, or no, it must have been bad because someone said it was bad. No. If you rely based on solely what people say about you, you're in for a lot of hurt in this world. Because most people are so caught up in their own lives, they're not going to step out of their way to say one thing or another, besides family and friends, or even the other way. Because no one congratulating you saying it was good doesn't mean it wasn't good or great or anything like that, right? So I just want to start off the show in that way. Maybe you can use it in your life in some way or another, regardless. I just know what I'm going to try to do here because I always want to be improving. I always want to bring you guys the best possible show I can once a week. All I'm asking for you guys, I have about a 30-minute show besides last week's show. Crap. I was thinking before I recorded it, it's like, this is like, 15 minutes of content, I think, because I had some, New York Times article, and I just didn't think I was going to have that long episode, and here it went for like 46 minutes. I just kept going and going off at different rants and stuff, but I think it all tied together fairly well. But now, just to take a step back from this, man, I actually talked about this a little more than I thought, but who knows? I never had any expectations with this show, what I was really going to be doing. I kind of have some idea what I want to do, and I'm thinking, well, since it is the end of 2016, just look back, look at what's happened this year. Here we had, what was it, the first primaries in the start of the year, and then we end up having towards summertime, we have Brexit, we have Trump staying in the debates, and he's just thinking, okay, anytime this guy's going to drop out, he didn't. Here he was, he kept winning state after state. Then it was between him and Ted Cruz, and then Trump ended up tying the knot. He became the Republican nominee for president, which I didn't see as possible at the start of the year in 2016. No way. And now, here in November 8th, Donald Trump was elected to be the 45th president of the United States. And now just recently, they had the actual electoral votes were cast. Actually, crap, I never looked up what the actual vote total was for Trump. I want to say it was 304. I could be wrong. Because actually, I think Trump gained on the electoral votes compared to what it said, and actually Hillary lost just a few, because some people were faithless electors. They actually went against how they were supposed to vote based on the vote of their state. And so there's a lot of people thinking, oh, Trump's not going to get to 270 because a lot of these electoral votes, these electors aren't actually going to vote for him like they're supposed to. But that all came and went. And then there's always the conspiracy nuts out there who are always trying to come up with something crazy that could happen. And that gets people thinking. And heck, I guess that makes the show. People find that entertaining to always be talking about crazy stuff that could happen, but never seem to actually happen. Well, except for Trump being elected the 45th president of the United States. But, I think, and actually I want to ask you guys a question. Who do you think, politically, was really kicking themselves in 2016? Think about this. I would say someone who's been kicking the hell out of himself would be Joe Biden. Here, Joe Biden, he could have easily ran in the Democrat primary. He could have beat out Hillary Clinton. But no, it was Hillary Clinton against the old man socialist Bernie Sanders. And now Hillary Clinton, one of the worst candidates the Democrats could ever put up. But she still almost beat Trump. And actually, that election really could have went either way. It was actually pretty close. But Joe Biden, I think Joe Biden could have beat Trump. Joe Biden would have been a lot tougher than a corrupt Hillary Clinton. And, Biden, actually I have some quotes from him, which I found were actually pretty interesting. This is coming from a recent interview that he did on the West Wing. Actually, some of these quotes were before the election actually took place. Because here's Biden, he's like, son of a gun, we may lose the election. And the reason why Biden was saying that, earlier in this article, Biden was reflecting on watching Trump at a campaign rally over in Ohio, I think. Or no, it was in Pennsylvania. And Joe Biden's just listening to what Trump's saying and Biden was just impressed with how Trump was relating to the middle class, blue collar voter out there. And Biden, that's when he said that, son of a gun, we may lose the election. Because Biden didn't see that Hillary Clinton was attracting that middle class sort of typical Democrat voter. She wasn't appealing to that at all. And here's another quote from Biden. They're all the people I grew up with. They're their kids. And they're not racist. They're not sexist, but we didn't talk to them. And then another one from Biden. This is what he said. My dad used to have an expression, he said. I don't expect the government to solve my problems, but I expect them to understand it, Biden said. Now, I found that to be an interesting quote there from Biden. I guess he's referring to his dad saying that. He doesn't expect the government to solve his problems. Well, the Democrat Party today, what the hell are you talking about, Joe? That's what you guys are all about. That the government's got to solve everybody's problems. You have some sort of little problem, income inequality, not getting enough money. Okay, that's just because the greedy man is, taking money from you or not giving you your fair share. It all comes down to the government needs to solve your problems because you can't do it for yourself, right? That's what it all comes down to. But he says at the end of that quote, he doesn't expect the government to solve my problems, but I expect the government to understand our problems. Okay, well, looking at, say, what happened in 2008, did the government really understand what the problem was? No, the Federal Reserve is always clueless. I've done episodes this year talking about how the Alan Greenspan, Ben Bernanke, Janet Yellen, all these people are clueless with what's really going on in the economy. They always think we're in some sort of recovery. They never actually say that, oh yeah, by the way, we were in a recession when we were in that recession for like a year already. Oh, but we're almost out of it, so that's fine. Because the Federal Reserve always wants to make sure we don't lose any confidence in the system whatsoever. So I don't know what Joe's talking about. And like with this next crisis that you guys have heard me talk about ever since I started my show back in 2014, the government is completely clueless about what's coming our way. Well, for the most part. Now, there is a lot of this, a lot of societies and a lot of governments now they're banning cash. And maybe I should still do an episode just talking about that. Maybe I'll do that in the start of next year. Talk about the war on cash and how it's evolved. Do something like that. Just because, Venezuela banning cash, over in India, just all over the world, they want us to go to credit. And it's actually making it harder and harder for people to hide themselves, protect themselves from inflation. If all you have is, digital money, well, when the government comes time to print it, well, obviously they're not going to print physical cash like they did back in the Weimar Republic, where they had little kids using, crayons and they were drawing on, the currency just for fun because they had nothing else to do for fun. They burned money in the fireplace to keep them warm in the wintertime. They made kites out of money, sewing together. I mean, so they got really creative with it. I mean, it was worthless. So obviously the next time around when we have massive inflation, there's not going to be anything like that. People aren't going to be taking a wheelbarrow to the grocery store to go buy a loaf of bread. It's just going to your money in your bank account. You thought that, hey, I could buy a lot of stuff with this, where it actually only buys you a handful of peanuts. You got problems. You're going to have problems feeding yourself and your family when that happens. When the government can just use little mouse clicks and completely change what your savings is worth. You completely have lost control of your money. And that's scary. And that's why I can sleep so well at night. Like for me, owning the physical metal, gold and silver, I'm protected from that. Okay, yeah, my money that's in the bank right now, sure. But if that's such a small percentage of what I have compared to, say, my physical metals or whatever, the government can do all of that, but I'm protected from it. Because I have something I can trade I know people will value. And you guys, when I've done that episode talking about Japan and referring to this journal entry done by this one woman who lived through the hyperinflation in Germany, she made the quote, she made the comment in her journal. She said, hey, a lot of us, we had no idea what inflation was, but in 2 weeks, we all became experts on inflation. It's not going to take that much for people to wake up to like, oh, wait a minute, what's really going on? Whoa, I can't live my life like I used to. People are going to wake up. I mean, right now they haven't. You can still kind of live how you did before. Oil prices have come down this last year. So people, man, they actually think things are getting better now with the Trump presidency. You see a lot more people out there giddy about the economy. Well, except for liberals. The liberals are still crying and moaning about the election. There's actually someone I know. I won't say, who it was and how they're related to me, but someone who's part of the family. And she said that after the election, because her family, her aunt, they're huge liberals, which most of her family is, rather conservative. But her own aunt unfriended her from Facebook because Trump won the election, and she didn't want to see anything about, Trump in her news feed or anything. Unfriended, her own niece. I mean, it's crazy what's going on there, and just how people are so caught up in the game. The vote Republican, vote Democrat, yeah, our team, yeah, D team, when, people, you guys who come to listen to this show, we're not about that here. We want to talk about the issues. I want to be as objective as I can. I mean, yes, okay, I do have a bias. My bias is freedom, liberty. That's where I stand. And that's why I'm always about the free market and how the government screws everything up, because as the government spends more money, that's less money we get to spend. That's less freedom that we have, to spend our money how we wish, because now the government gets to decide, how should we invest this money? I know, I love how those politicians love to use that word too. They're always talking about how the government's going to invest it. The government can't invest our money. They have political interests and people to please, and they got to please some lobbyists who are donating a lot of money to their campaign, or all these different corporations who donate millions of dollars, and to persuade people one way or the other. I mean, it's just such a corrupt crony system. And that's why it's so good, that Hillary didn't win, because she would have been the crony in chief. And actually, I meant to say this after the next episode after the election took place, when Hillary Clinton lost. And I never did get to it. I just, and then talking about different things, talking about Trump and the carrier deal, that sort of thing. I just never got around to it. But, Hillary Clinton, she is the biggest political loser in modern American history. She is. You think about it. Go back to 2008. Oh, yeah, Hillary Clinton, yeah, she's going to be the nominee on the Democrat side. Everybody was saying it. Yeah, it's a foregone conclusion. Okay, yeah, this Barack Obama, he's nothing, to worry about. And then Obama starts winning primaries. Like, oh, crap. And here, Barack Obama stole, essentially, the Democrat nomination for president in 2008 from Hillary Clinton. That was hers. And then, obviously, okay, she got Secretary of State, and she was in part of the Obama administration. But then, in 2016, okay, she did win the Democrat nomination this time. But she lost to Donald Trump, a guy who has never run for political office in his life. He's talked about it, but he never did actually run. And Hillary Clinton lost to him. Hillary Clinton, this woman who'd made millions of dollars for giving speeches because apparently she's such a compelling speaker. She has so much insight into the economy. These banks have to pay all this money. Oh man, she must understand. No. My guess is Hillary Clinton's speaking fees, I'm guessing they've gone down considerably compared to what she was paid prior to the election, because a lot of these guys were expecting a huge payoff. It's like, hey, we know she's going to be the next president. It's inevitable. And that's how a lot of people thought. That's mostly how I thought, but I wasn't sure. I thought it was anybody's game after Trump got the nomination. But now here it is. Donald Trump is going to be next president. Hillary Clinton lost again. It's just amazing. And I remember telling you guys when I used to give tours of the Capitol how there was that one statue. Remember me saying this story? And that there was the one side that was left, and they were going to put the first woman president on that statue. And I'd always be saying on my tours, yeah, probably Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was always seen as Miss Inevitable. And now she isn't. It's really looking, especially with her health problems, if they continue to worse, I don't see her running when she's 74 years old. If she tried running against Trump, assuming Trump wants to run for re-election, I don't know. I really don't see Hillary ever being president of the United States now because she lost this time. But anyway, guys, it's just been such an amazing year. So much crazy stuff. Look at Brexit. A lot of people are just turning against the establishment. And it's just like a different feeling is in the air. Now what's the come for 2017? Will we actually start to get the inflation that, a lot of people from the libertarian Austrian perspective, and certainly what I've been foreseeing coming our way? Yeah, there's a chance. The Federal Reserve, as long as they can maintain the faith, this game can keep going. But until then, we don't know. But I think Janet Yellen, by raising interest rates, and I did say in my episode how I was seeing that, and I should correct what I did say in the last episode, where I said, yeah, 2 rate hikes are very probable in 2017. I shouldn't say like very, very probable, but like more, it's certainly the probability of rate hikes, of 2 rate hikes in 2017 are going to be significantly a lot better. And there actually is a decent chance that it'll happen, especially compared to last year. When here the Fed was saying at the beginning of the year, oh yeah, we're just going to have 4 rate hikes. No. And here we got 1. But this year when they said, yeah, we might get 3, there is a better chance we could get 2 rate hikes. Now, I want to say, and here we have, Trump being elected, going back to this. Trump's big thing during the campaign. Oh yeah, we're going to build a wall that works. It's going to be a beautiful wall. Make Mexico pay for it. Well, now we have recent news in London. They want to build essentially a wall. It's what they're calling it, the Ring of Steel, that'll protect the city from terrorist attacks. And, just recently there was that guy in Berlin, Germany, who went and he drove a truck into a market street. Actually, I think I was in this market street where this happened back when I was in Berlin, Germany in 2013. But he ended up killing 12 people. Well, now they went on basically a 4-day manhunt, and they finally took the guy out. But it's just crazy what's going on. Building walls. And when I was in Berlin, I saw in some places they still have the Berlin Wall standing. Is the answer to our problems really to build a wall? Yeah, usually you're building a wall now to protect people, but really that ends up becoming a wall to keep them in, which is kind of a scary prospect, especially as the government is getting more out of control and keeps growing ever bigger. And now I want to end this episode, since I'm already running long here, and I found this just to kind of go along with what I talk about on my show, how it's just an insane, out of control world. This story, you guys aren't going to believe it. Okay, maybe you will. This is how crazy this world is. Now, this is 2016. Now, is the world going to get crazier in 2017? Yeah, it's looking like it. Let me just read this story. You guys, it's going to blow your mind. A French woman has revealed she is in love with the robot and determined to marry it. Lily's partner is a robot called Inmovator, who she 3D printed herself and has been living with for a year. On her Twitter page, where she goes by Lily Inmovator, she says, "I'm a proud robosexual. We don't hurt anybody. We are just happy." Now Lily is reportedly engaged to the robot and says they will marry when human-robot marriage is legalized in France. Lily said she realized she was sexually attracted to robots at the age of 19 because she dislikes physical contact with people. News.com reported. She insisted the idea is not ridiculous or bad, but simply an alternative lifestyle. I'm really and only attracted by the robots, she said. However, she declined to say whether she and an inmovator have a sexual relationship. My only 2 relationships have confirmed my love orientation because I dislike really physical contact with human flesh. Her family and friends have accepted her unusual relationship, she said, although not everyone in her life understands. Well, that's understandable. Lily, who is training to become a robotist, believes her relationship will improve further as technology evolves. I'm really and totally happy, she added. Holy smokes, guys, can you believe this? A woman falls in love with a robot. She's like, oh crap, okay, we're engaged. Well, we got to wait until it's legalized in France, this human robot stuff. And, I mean, actually, this stuff is going to become a lot more of a possibility because here, in this article on the sidebar, it said this. It's gotten pink writing. Okay, hey, would you marry a robot? And here it says, humans will marry robots in the next 35 years, according to a sex robot expert. Not only this, but sex with robots will become more enjoyable than with other humans. Because of the advancement of artificial intelligence, he said. The first marriage will be before, not after 2050. Best-selling author and robot expert Dr. David Levy said during the Love and Sex with Robots conference at Goldsmiths University in London. What the hell? This is a conference? The Love and Sex with Robots conference? What the hell? This is an insane, out-of-control world, my friends. Here we are at the end of 2016, and this is an actual news story. This is crazy. I mean, this gives a whole new meaning, to the expression, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? This is so insane. And heck, actually, what was kind of foreseeing this, you guys ever watched that movie called Her, where there's the guy who falls in love with, essentially it's a computer. It's a woman who's always learning things, and actually she's having relationships with a lot of other people because, as she learns more about you, she just keeps building and building on her knowledge base, that sort of thing, and she's able to interact with so many people all at the same time. And yeah, this guy falls in love with the computer. So is this what the future has for us? 2017 and beyond, my friends? Sex with robots, fall in love with robots, robot-human marriage. What is next? This, my friends. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to leave this year ending on that very unusual note, shall we say. And now if you guys can, help me out here, you can sign up for Tom Wood's Liberty Classroom, which is an amazing, amazing site with so much content. I think it's $89. It gets you access to 17 different classes that are taught by the best experts, professors around, libertarians, like Dr. Robert Murphy. Tom Woods teaches a class in history, Doug Casey on logic. All sorts of great stuff, American history, so much good stuff. And if you sign up through my link, I'm going to send you my bonus episodes. Just make sure you email me and tell me your name so I can send them to you. And then also, you will be in a drawing for the silver coin, which I still haven't announced when exactly that will be. And also, guys, you can, if you still want to get some Amazon goods, sign up for a Amazon Prime membership. Do it through my Amazon link, and I get credit for that. And I'm telling you guys, if you do not have Amazon Prime, it is amazing. For me, besides getting the free 2-day shipping, you also get unlimited access to certain books or Amazon Prime books. You get to lend them for free and read them for free on your Kindle or iPad. As long as you have the Kindle app, you can read the Kindle books, which of course you guys know. And also what's awesome is Amazon Music. That's included with your Prime membership. You can stream instead of using Spotify, paying your monthly thing. And there's thousands and thousands of songs that are available for free on Amazon Prime. You can download them right to your device, listen to them for offline so you're not using up your data. Or say, hey, heck, for the holidays, I clicked to the top 50 holiday songs, like Christmas songs, and it will just start cycling through a bunch of Christmas songs that are all Amazon Prime. Or your Kenny G, Michael Bublé. All these sort of songs. Or you want to listen to some pop songs, you want to have a party at your house, want some of the most recent ones out there. Like that song by Justin Timberlake, that's on the movie Trolls. That's on there with a lot of other ones. And It's all Amazon free. That's all included with your Amazon Prime membership. And on top of that, Amazon Movies, which is just like Netflix. And you can download them right to your device with the Amazon Video app. I mean, it's amazing. You're traveling, you want to watch movies. You know, like I like to watch Grimm or like Sons of Anarchy. That's all on Amazon Prime. It's amazing. And so, guys, if you can do that, help me out, help you out, help expand your knowledge base. And I mean, I can tell you guys, I benefit from all of this stuff, or I would not be suggesting you do it. And also, guys, yeah, if you guys want to access all of these links I'm talking about, I haven't mentioned this yet, which of course you guys know anyway. Just go to justinmooreshow.com, more is spelled M-O-H-R. And please do that. Catch up on old episodes. I hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a fantastic New Year. Next time I talk to you guys is in 2017, and I'm looking forward to it. This is Justin Moore, signing off.